Mm.
I was muted that whole time. So good morning. I hope everyone's having a good morning or afternoon or night. I am not. I woke up feeling like super sick this morning, and I think that's just a factor of me just kind of grinding late into the night and then still getting up early and for me. But at the same time, this is what I signed up for. So um that's my thing. And I'm glad I can help people, right? So I was chatting with somebody earlier about emails, and I thought that the group was due for some updates on email stuff, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to hang out for a hot second and see who shows up, if anyone. If not, I'll just monologue and talk about what I want. And in the caption for this is you can't really see the caption, can you? In the caption for this is a link to join the live chat. I see Donna might be here, um, and that's pretty awesome. Always love it when she's on board. And yeah, just checking this stuff out. Jimmy, Jimmy, doing something. Anyway, we're going to talk about email marketing here in a little bit. And I'm constantly mind blown by what you can do with AI. So we're going to integrate AI into this discussion at the end as well. And oh man, this guy broke his hand. That does not look okay at all. So hope you get better, dude. But you can paint a bunch of art and then you can just say, I did this with a broken hand, and it can be part of the story. All right, so I will give it, nope, I'm not going to give it any more time. I'm just going to dig in, and we're going to talk about email marketing. So let's get into it. Share my screen. I'm going to share just a portion of it so I can present. Cool. Need to go to, there we go. All right, email marketing. Got my pen, got my chats. Let me see if, okay. So email marketing is still really powerful and really relevant. And I think that I personally know that I have a tendency to overlook it a lot because I focus so much on text message marketing, which I'm about to send a text message to all of my collectors today. And I tend to focus on social media marketing because having a social media group or having a social media like messaging is so much more powerful. I mean, we can start here. So email marketing has an average open rate of about 20%. And I know that's saying that someone's going to argue with me, right? But I said it, so there it is. So about 20%, whereas messenger marketing, Facebook Messenger, or just replying in DMs with your Facebook page and or a text message has a like an 85 to 95% open rate. Right. So if you're watching this and you're one of the artists who have joined in the last 4 or 5 months, I've sent you a DM, right? Especially if you're one of the artists who are like, hey, I want to know more about artists selling art. Well, I sent you a DM so you can learn more. And about 90% of you have opened those DMs. And you might be one of the 10% that hasn't. And you should go look for that. But anyway, the open rate on messaging is so much higher than email, but email is still really, really super relevant. Okay. Um, it's it's a staple. It's always going to be there. And owning your people's email address is your key to freedom from these social media groups or the social media management, right? Because social media can lock you out at any time. There's at least a half a dozen artists in here who are stressed out because they're locked out of their Facebook page or the Facebook group and can't figure out how to get back in. And Facebook is a company that manages through 2.5 billion accounts, and it's really hard to get in touch with them to fix your problems, right? So that's frustrating. But if you own their email, and if you own their phone number, then you don't have to be stressed about your access to these people or to these platforms. So the goal on, and we'll talk about this a little bit later, the goal on getting people's emails and phone numbers or interacting with people on social media is to get their info off of social media. So all of my ads now, they run to forums that require people to fill out or to give me their email. And it's and then I get to grow with off platform and communicate with people. So what kind of email can you guys use? Or what are the email service providers out there? Email service providers, sometimes you'll hear it referred to as a CRM, contact management tool. What the hell does it stand for again? I forget. Uh, contact management, whatever. Uh, email marketing softwares are MailChimp, ConvertKit, Constant Contact, Squarespace, Kajabi, Proton, ActiveCampaign, Zoho, Prevo. When I just looked up a list of the top whatever email platforms, there's like more than 100. So there's a bunch of niche ones that you can use. There's a bunch of standardized or really popular ones like MailChimp, um, ActiveCampaign, Constant Contact. Of these, I use or have used, let's just do a highlighter. I've used MailChimp, right? I just switched from MailChimp to ConvertKit. Okay. I like ConvertKit because of its simple, clean interface. The way that it does visual automations and sequences is really fantastic. And the the price is the same. Okay, we'll talk about price here in a second, but I've used ConvertKit. I've also checked out well here, so I'll just highlight this one in red. This is the one I used to use. I found the interface to be very clunky, convoluted, complicated, whatever. I've also used Constant Contact in the past, right? I field tested it for like a month to see if I liked it, and I didn't. I liked it less than MailChimp. Now, these are all evolving all the time, but I didn't like it at the time I used it. I've also checked out Squarespace, which integrates with your Squarespace website, which is super nifty, but I think that Squarespace is lacking in its ability to do sequences and to do automations. At least it was the last time I looked at it. But it integrates with your website if you have a Squarespace website, which is just super convenient. Okay, so I know my partner Ali uses her Squarespace email account, and I'm still using ConvertKit. Kajabi is an education platform or an education creators platform, and I've checked it out. It's really expensive, but Kajabi I think integrates ActiveCampaign. Like I think these two work together, right? But I don't think that Kajabi is something that would work for most of you guys, but it is a really powerful email platform. And when we talk about power in Indian platform, well, let me just keep going. So ActiveCampaign is great. It's just more expensive than what color should we use for expensive? We'll put it in like the purples. It's just more expensive than the other options. But in terms of like its ability to have really complicated or really integrated systems for if then processes, like if they open this email or if they click on this link, then you can draw a line to this other email that you want them to get. That is really they have a great platform for that. ConvertKits is great as well. It's just ActiveCampaign might be a little bit more powerful, but it's more expensive. So I've never used Zoho or Brevo. I've used Proton, and I found it so basic that we're just going to give this a gray. It was so basic. I was like, why does this exist? Okay. But why use one of these instead of using your regular Gmail? Okay. You don't want to use your Gmail to send, like, my email list is 7,000, something like that, something like 7,000 something altogether. And if I try to put all of those 7,000 emails into a BCC form on, a blind courtesy copy in my email, then it would crash my Gmail for one. Two, Gmail would look that as spam, and it might cancel my account or it might flag my account, and I'll never be able to send emails again. On top of that, you don't get to manage your people. You don't get to manage your contacts with your personal email that well. So in any one of these platforms, you'll have a contact and you'll be able to have different types of tags to identify what those people are. For instance, I just did an art show. So anyone who came to my email during the art show got a tag that they're from Bellevue Art Fair, or they're from whatever the last show I did was, or the networking trip I did to Las Vegas, or the networking trip I just got back from in Scottsdale. When people join my email list from those channels, they get a tag. So then I can create customized email campaigns and track those email campaigns based on the people I met. And that's really powerful. And you can't do that easily with your personal email account. The other thing is a delivery score. So let me just find a blank space. Um, Delivery score. So delivery score is exactly what it sounds like. Your email is going to be attached to an IP address, and that IP address is going to be ranked or scored um, by Gmail or by Google and by Yahoo. Right. So we'll just call it the Google Yahoo consort. Right. I don't think consortium. That's the word. The Google Yahoo. Oh, geez. Consort. And this delivery score is going to decide whether or not you end up in a spam or not, right? There's this, and then there's also there's a library of spam terms and spam words that you can look up on Google to find out whether, or to make sure you're not using those words, so that the spam filters don't basically keep you from being delivered. But you get a delivery score, and each one of these email service providers has really strong deliverability scores. Okay, I think the weakest of them was Mailchimp, but it's kind of a fluid situation. It just depends. Like, each one of these owns scores of IP addresses, and they will funnel your emails through an IP address. And if that IP address starts getting a low delivery score, then they'll change it up. Or you can email them and just say, "Hey, can you switch my IP where my emails are being sent from, because I noticed that my email delivery score is going down." Okay. Of all of these, I think MailChimp was the lowest of the ones I tried, and ActiveCampaign was the highest. So part of the cost and what it costs to work on any of these platforms is the delivery score. So this is super important. Getting a call. Anyway, so let's talk about cost. So cost works in a few ways. One way is going to be, how many emails are you sending? Okay. So if you're sending, like, I think it's going to be free for the first few thousand emails you send. Most of the platforms are. So if you're just starting out, you can get started on any one of these platforms really for free up until you send a certain amount of emails. It might be 5,000, it might be 10,000. It just depends. You can look at it in the pricing platform. And then it's also free for less than 1,000 accounts, 1,000 emails saved on the CRM. Okay. But after that, they start to charge you. So in general, I like I said, I have like 7,000. So I think under 10,000 emails, you're paying like $110 a month, right? Or so. Not I think that's a good price. It's pretty average. So on MailChimp, I was paying 110. On ConvertKit, I still pay 110. And I didn't switch platforms because of price. I switched platforms because of the interface. So in general, like under 1,000 email accounts, under 5,000 sends, you're going to be free. Now, there's a metric that I don't have on this, but in marketing, you should be making about $1 for every email lead per month. Now, as an artist, I don't do that, right? Sometimes, some months I make nothing. A lot of months I don't send pictures. I don't even send emails. But well, that's not true. I'm gonna show you how I send emails, but I don't send like a lot of emails every month, like the way you would see uh, a product company send massive email campaigns. Um, so in general, but $1,000, $1 per every person on your list per month. So if you sell one thing for, my average sale is 7K. So if you average sale is 7K and you have 7,000 people on your email list, then you could say that if you got that sale through email, then it was doing its job. Um, but my point is that you have the ability to make money from all of these people. So it's going to cost you a little bit of money for the service that they provide. I was going to mention something else, but it just slipped my mind. Let me check the Facebook for comments because it's just me here today, at least on the admin side. So I have to refresh this. And cool. Well, hey, if you're watching, leave a comment. Just say, hey, it's Michael from Michaelville, and I do painting, right? And leave your Instagram so that we can check you out a little bit later when after this, when we have some free time later. So why do we need this? All right, we discovered this a little bit. I guess I got a little bit ahead of myself. Deliverability, right? So you can't send 1,000 emails through your personal Gmail account. It will also be really untrackable. Like imagine your inbox, your outbox was just filled with 1,000 individual messages, or even if you use BCC, it would be really unmanageable. So all of these give us the ability to have a workflow based on the amount of people we have and how their product is created. We can go look at my ConvertKit if we want later. Let me know in the comments. It's just a little bit touchy because that's people's personal information that I don't want to broadcast. But we are going to look at it for one of the email campaigns that I have set up. So how do we use email? Like how should we be using our email? And I have here give, ask. Okay. So how many emails should you be sending? How many and what should be in those emails? Right. When we get to the end of this today, oh shit, we would talk for 20 minutes. When we get to the end of this today, I'm going to show you an outline for creating for emailing an 8-week outline. So we'll do that here in a minute, right? But what should be the content of your emails? You should be entertaining, informing, and educating about you, and then selling, right? This comes last. This comes after you build rapport. So your email is just another channel where you get to meet people where they're comfortable, and you get to share who you are, what you do, why you're interesting, why people should pay attention. But if you show up to people's email and the first thing you do is, hey, take 10% off, right? Or hey, here's 50% off for joining my email list. That's it's not cool, right? It's not fun. People just aren't paying attention to that. They'll see it and they'll just roll their eyes, or they won't even give you enough energy or thought to have an eyeball. They'll just completely disregard that message because it's something irrelevant to their lives. But if they follow you because they like you, and you say one of the new artists in Tassa paints scenes from New England, right? So if they followed you because they like those scenes of food and they like those scenes um, of New England world, right, through your eyes, then that's what they need to see. So instead of um, your first email being 10% off, tell them a story about how you do what you do, right? And tell them a story and link it to something funny or something interesting that they can take with them as a little piece of who you are. And then after you've done this a few times, you can do this. Okay. But you have to nurture your clients. I think that's what I meant to say here. Um, I meant to say build rapport and then ask for the sale. I meant to say nurture your people, right? That's what you get to do over email. Okay. But what do you write about? So let me just check this really quick. Too much stuff. Oh, Coco's here and my computer froze. Okay, so what do we write about? We can sit and ideate about email for forever, right? But basically, like I said, what can you do that's about you that you can educate and inform people about? So I just wrote, literally sitting here, I drew all those little notes, and then I just said, okay, let's talk. So I went to ChatGPT, which is chat.openai.com, and I just told it who I was. So I'm an artist, and I need help planning email marketing content about my art and my life as an artist. Educate, inform, right? I want to follow a content strategy that educates, informs, entertains, and occasionally asks for sales from my email list. Occasionally. My email list consists of collectors and fans who have subscribed to me at various points along my art business journey. Some have come from social media, online marketing, and others have come from live events. Can you help me plan a content strategy for the next 60 days that includes 8 emails, which only the 4th and 8th email are directly about sales? Okay, I'll take this prompt and I'll put it into our live chat. Doing that now. You can just copy this and put it into ChatGPT. ChatGPT is free. You can use it for free. I pay for the $20 thing, so I get a little bit faster responses and the latest intel for tech that they have. So, but you don't need to. But I pay for it. That's $20 a month. And then it just responded like your best friend working assistant. So certainly below is a 60 day, right? So email 1, welcome to my artistic journey. Email 2, something from behind the scenes. Okay. Email 3, a showcase of some sort. Discover my favorite art pieces. I love it. Email 4, special promotion. First, this is the first season. All right. So special promotion. And when you guys do a special promotion, you guys don't actually have to do anything special. Just highlight what you already have. Right. So this says offer, just because ChatGPT says it doesn't mean you have to agree with it. But after a limited time discount or bundle on my art prints or merchandise, I fucking hate discounts. I hate sales. I never offer them publicly or in mass. I only offer them to select people who I call low-hanging fruit. We can talk about that when we talk about sales. And I'm more inclined to offer a bundle than I am to offer a discount. All right. Highlight the quality and uniqueness of your prints, include customer testimonials if available. If they're not available, what would your ideal customer think about your art? And then share that, right? And this is storytelling, and not all stories have to be true. All right, email 5, artistic inspiration. What fuels my creativity? This is, I could write about this stuff really quick. I could have this done in like an hour, minus spell checking, because I'm terrible at that. Tips and tricks for aspiring artists. This depends on your demographic. Like I might be able to do this because I know there's a lot of artists on my art email list as well as my TASA list, but you can adjust this. So art 101, how I paint this or how I painted that. And you know what you can really do in these posts and all of these, because they all have they have a CTA at the end, I think, and with the questions asking subscribers about whatever. Or CTA. You can at the end link to one of your social media posts. Like, hey, I just posted this. Do you mind checking it out? Because that'll help you stoke the algorithm. Are we doing on time? So let's say you do not a special, let's say you do an art showcase. Then you could link them to one of your posts where it shares one of your arts, right? hopefully it's like a reel or something that could go viral or has some potential. You can link it to them on whatever their preferred platform is, whatever your preferred platforms are, and that will help stoke your algorithm. So every week you have inbound links going to your social media, and the algorithm goes, "Ooh, this is fun. This is people are coming here specifically to see this," and it promotes your work more. Real quick, gonna check. And then, okay, so we were on email like 7. Um, a fan spotlight. This is super important. Like anytime you can highlight your collectors, anytime you can highlight your target avatar, that's going to be a big opportunity to show people like that person that owning their art is something, right? And then email 8 second sale. Don't miss out on limited edition, blah, blah, blah. You could, if you're tracking limited editions, you could say, don't miss out on Edge of Solace because it's 50% sold out, or it just crossed 20%, or something like that. And then what do you do after these emails? After these 8 emails? Start over. Just do it again. Write 3 versions of this, right? 8 emails, 60 days. That's 6 cycles a year. So you probably could write all of this out in like a day for the entire year. And then you can sprinkle other emails in. So you just save all these in a file, and then when you're ready for the next scheduling the next set of emails, there you go. So this is 8 emails. You could do this again for uh, a 30-day cycle. So 1 email a week for every month. It just depends on how much you want to stay in touch with your audience. I personally don't send that many emails. I just send emails when I have new releases. And again, I rely a lot on text and I rely a lot on social media. Okay, so let me stop this share. I don't think anyone tuned in today. So, well, I mean, there's a few people here, but if you guys have any last minute questions on this, I'm happy to help. Just let me know. I can't answer things if I don't know what the questions are. Right. So, refreshing. Coco says she's a photographer. She works in other mediums too, and she sent us her website, even though I asked for her Instagram, but that's okay. I think Coco's a member, actually. All right. Well, that was a super quick 30 minutes. I mean, I love kind of teaching. I think this is always like the fastest part of my day. It's the time where I just get to have free flow of thought. And if you guys want the replay, let me know. We can send you this as a link that you can download, or not download, but just watch off of Facebook. And we will see you on the next live.